All right, breaking news coming in at this point. Three people have lost their lives in a stampede at the Vishnu Niwasam temple in Tirupati. Now, chaos erupted at the Vishnu Niwasam in Tirupati during the distribution of tokens, leading to a deadly stampede. In fact, a massive rush of devotees attempting to secure tokens resulted in the tragic death of three individuals, including a devotee from Salem in Tamil Nadu. Four others, they fell ill during this incident and were immediately taken to Ruia Hospital for medical attention. In fact, my colleague Uma Sudhir joins us to get us more on this. Uma, what is the latest that you can tell us?
Vaikunthadwara Sarvadarshanam, which means the tokens for having a darshan on Vaikunthadwara Ekadasi, which falls on the 10th of January, is what I understand. So these queues were waiting, and suddenly things got out of control, and a stampede situation ensued. And I have not been able to speak to any official sources, but my our local contacts there are confirming that 2 men and 2 women are feared dead in this. We are seeing already visuals of the police, as well as the male police officials, as well as the local men trying to do CPR and revive. I've seen at least visuals of 3 women trying to be revived and 1 man as well. And the fear is that 2 women and 2 men are feared to have been dead. I repeat that I've not yet been able to speak to any official there to confirm the news of the death. They say they have been rushed to hospital, and the confirmation is not possible as of now, but a very, very unfortunate development at Tirupati, which otherwise sees the largest numbers of pilgrims coming in there. And even otherwise, it's a very auspicious season, and the coming days would have been considered very auspicious for a visit, and that's the reason why big numbers of people were waiting in the queues in order to get the Sarvadarshanam token passes, and suddenly things got out of hand, and this tragedy has ensued.
Uma Sudhir, can you give us a sense of the approximate number of devotees who are normally present there during this token distribution?
So there are 2 different things. One is Tirupati, which is the town below the Tirumala temple. Tirumala temple, you have to go atop the temple to be able to visit the Balaji temple there, the Venkateshwara Swami temple atop the hill. What usually happens is that there is a distribution of tokens, that new systems were in fact put in place to try and ensure that there is no kind of an overcrowding that happens in Tirumala, and the idea was to make it very systematic, and that's the reason why you have online registrations as well, and also physical distribution of tokens, because many people come from far off and they are looking to go to the temple then and there, and not with advance bookings of say a week together in advance, and that's the reason why they were waiting for that darshanam tokens to be given, and that is when this accident has actually come about. How many numbers were there? I'm not able to tell you any specific numbers about what is the usual queue numbers and whether it was much in excess this time. But the police presence was certainly there, but things got out of hand. It was a matter of minutes before this tragedy happened.
Right. Also, in terms of security there and crowd management and crowd control there, can it be said that there were lapses in those departments in security and crowd control that might have contributed to the stampede?
That is too early really to say, Osama. What I would say is that considering the huge numbers of people who come to Tirupati and to Tirumala as well, usually the systems that are put in place are very, very well organized, well thought out, because there are there are proper procedures through which the crowd moves. There's a pedestrian pathway through which some people want to reach the temple, and the others are taking the ghat road and going by vehicles, and subsequently as well there are queues, and in order to ensure that even in the queues there is no kind of overcrowding, people are allowed to go from one chamber to the next chamber in a very systematic manner. So systems are certainly in place, but when an accident happens, obviously there has been a collapse of the system which should have otherwise been functioning there, and therefore while we cannot go into the details of what exactly has happened here, because There is no analysis yet, no investigation yet to tell us what really went wrong, because of which the stampede ensued. But it is very clear that all of them were waiting for the Vaikunthadwara Sarvadarshanam tokens. And when the gates opened and the tokens started being given, suddenly there was a rush and an overcrowding, because of which the stampede ensued. And unfortunately, it is feared now that 4 people may have died in this stampede.
All right, Uma Sudhir, thank you very much for getting us all the latest. In fact, we'll keep tracking this story as it develops, and as Uma was telling us, more details might emerge as to why this must have happened.